Hey everyone, I'm Diana Davison, advocate for the falsely accused and wrongfully convicted. A few days ago, Canada's public broadcaster, the CBC, published an article that really shows the depths to which reporting standards have fallen when it comes to sexual assault allegations. Now, here's the guy that CBC decided to quote as some kind of moral expert on the behavior of his former bandmates. Yeah, the CBC, our state-funded broadcaster, gave a national platform to Crippin, the disgruntled ex-drummer from the band Headley.
What did you mean by that?
Well, as it was explained to me, that just means sitting back while a tornado of madness...
And seemed to have done no research at all regarding the truthfulness of his claims.
Were there people around him, perhaps being a warning voice, a cautionary voice like yourself?
I think I would be about the only person that would be concerned about that kind of...
Yeah.
We're going to go get a key to their room.
And then?
Because I'm in a position of authority for some reason.
And then?
And then you're going to dabble your balls on their faces while they sleep.
So my concern would be mainly for the young woman and then for our collective career.
Maybe we should take the band credit card, which I'm responsible for, and buy a bunch of hookers.
It would fall on deaf ears and I would get ridiculed or bullied into some kind of shut the F up kind of thing.
I have a declaration of war.
Are we about to start an intra-band war?
Yes.
What has this world come to? Simply making a note in the article that the source of a story has possible motive to lie does not make it okay to go ahead and publish what is likely to be a whole schwack of malicious garbage. The most truthful thing in the article appears to be the statement from the band's lawyer. The members of Headley understand that the CBC has received false and/or out-of-context allegations made by a disgruntled and bitter former member of our group, whose axe grinding and bias against us should be obvious to any fair-minded observer. This hatchet job, coming from a person with little credibility and serious issues of his own, seems intended not to inform, but to shock and inflame public sentiment.
Many people won't work with me just because they don't, and I understand.
Yes, Crippin was fired despite the band's public statement saying that he left of his own accord, and they just #believe him when he says getting fired was actually his own personal exit strategy.
Were you surprised at how fast the crash and burn came with the band?
Yeah, oh my God, wasn't that fast? I mean...
So here's the history. 2 women have gone to police following a Twitter campaign that many believe Crippin helped organize, and Jacob Hogard, the band's singer, is now facing 2 charges of sexual assault causing bodily harm and 1 of sexual interference, stemming from incidents that are alleged to have happened in 2016. These are obviously extremely serious charges. I don't know Jacob Hogard and I have no connection to the band. I also have no personal knowledge as to whether or not the allegations brought to police are true or false. And neither does Crippin. CBC tells us that Crippin doesn't know anything about the actual incidents. He's just here to give us character evidence. But hey, when did ignorance and bias ever stop the CBC from publishing whatever a source tells them? I'm pretty sure the CBC should have investigated why Crippin actually got fired. I suspect there was a very good reason, and that he's not telling us the whole truth. The only actual evidence Crippin offered them were some crude jokes sent in group emails. That's all he could come up with after 11 years with that band. Crippin whines about Hogard calling him a faggot, while one of their feature clips in the road trip film is Jacob Hogard and Crippin pretending to get caught having sex. No one should believe a word coming out of this man's mouth. The CBC doesn't even seem properly concerned that Crippin and one of the complainants claim to have both seen the exact same video clip of Hogard masturbating, and that this clip was anonymously sent to the CBC just in September. As if Jacob Hogard, who spends about half the time in their road trip movie on camera naked, would just make 1 6-second recording of himself, hang on to it like some kind of souvenir, and keep recycling the same one. The case for Crippin's collusion with some of these accusers is growing stronger. Also, all available information indicates that the band's behavior got better over time, not worse. They started working with charities and started becoming better role models. Not perfect role models, but definitely better than their early years. I want an explanation from the CBC on why they used public money to print libel, but didn't bother using that money to investigate or do any fact-checking. And if Crippin went to the police 3 weeks earlier, like they say, and lied to the police, I hope he gets charged. As the band's lawyer said, no fair-minded observer would find Crippin credible, and it appears that CBC and Judy Trinh have no concern with fair reporting. Now, Chris Crippin complains that he's having trouble getting people to work with him. I suspect it has less to do with his past in Headley and more to do with Crippin being a nasty, lying dirtbag. Anyone working with him right now might want to go out and find themselves a nice, knife-proof jacket.
What?